Yo, what is up guys, DukeOfDC here. Welcome to another video. It has been a day of reviews. I was on that beautiful K1600 bagger. I was on this R1200 GS Rally, and now I am on this 2018 BMW G310 GS. This is a really cool bike because it is a, let's not call it beginner anymore because I know that you guys don't necessarily like that. Let's call it a good entry-level small cc displacement motorcycle, but it is a bit of a beginner motorcycle. I just first want to shout out, this is an amazing dealership, District Harley-Davidson. You guys will have known them for the last couple of years as Batley. They are now District HD. They sell Harley-Davidsons, Ducatis, and of course BMWs, and that's what I'm on today. And right before we jump into it, I want to thank our sponsors for this video. Rollick. Rollick is connecting enthusiasts like me and you with a certified network of dealers like District Harley-Davidson to find the best prices and the most transparent buyer experience for motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, RVs. If you can have an adventure on it, Rollick has your back. Whew. All right, so my main man Sam here at District HD has done a walk around. That footage will be displayed. 2018 BMW, is it a G310 GS?
Correct.
So this is the total little brother to what I just got off of. You guys have seen a video on the R1200 GS Rally. Sam's gonna tell us about it.
Yeah, well, kind of the entry level, or just a smaller, more easier to use version, I guess, than the bigger 1200.
So this is being produced with the G310R.
Correct.
Which is the standard model, this being the one that's trying to emulate more of kind of that off-road adventure bike.
This does have more suspension travel, greater ground clearance, and just more bodywork to resemble the
it looks
bigger
pretty
GS.
similar. I mean, it's got the same kind of front bill and same kind of body panel styles as, you know, the tank center comes down that different color. So this is powered by a single cylinder.
Correct.
310cc-ish. And then is this in-house like suspension? I know it's got the, these aren't Brembos, but they're the same company.
But they're by Brembo.
Right.
So whenever you see by BRE, that's by Brembo.
Literally by Brembo.
Yeah.
Super clever on their part, I suppose. This is a really cool bike. So the people, my subscribers in general, don't like the term beginner bike, but it's hard to not say that this is a beginner motorcycle.
Right, or someone looking for, if they are gonna actually take it off pavement, off road. It's very light. Again, easy to use. Got some on-off road tires already from the factory.
It's not too small, it's not too focused, like a 250 is pretty much a beginner bike.
Yeah, so we've had, not only new riders, but experienced riders that just want something light, easy to use. Even for around town, it's just hop on, it's light, it's easy. You can put luggage on it if you do need a commute. I mean, what's it get, like 75 miles to the gallon, something
Amazing.
around there.
Yeah. Can we start it up real quick?
Yeah.
The thumper thumping.
So what's great on this one versus the R, you can shut off the ABS.
Okay, you can. Wow. So it really does have that like enduro styling.
So that way when you're off road, you can lock up the rear. Nice thing that you don't see a lot on these kind of smaller bikes, a fuel gauge and a gear indicator.
That is huge. A lot of people think that no fuel gauge, no gear indicator, not a beginner motorcycle.
Right.
Those are two really important things.
ABS, of course.
Okay. Otherwise, you know, tap,
everything you need.
Everything you need. Really cool. If you are looking for a beginner BMW motorcycle, or rather entry level, or even something just like Sam said to commute on, 75 miles per gallon, low entry cost, probably very low insurance, 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty. You'll have seen it, or you will see it, and we're just gonna go for a ride. We're just gonna enjoy it, because I was just on the Big Brother, so it is you know, obviously it's not a direct comparison, as this is a more entry-level bike. But we're gonna go out, we're gonna stall it, because that's cool. And we're gonna go have some fun. Oh, this is such a like mini-me of the R1200 GS. It really is. I love the styling. I think they nailed it on that. I like the suspension travel on this too. If you guys remember, I've already done a review on the G310R. I will link that in the description, or it'll pop up on the side or something, or possibly at the end of this video, so that you guys can go check that one out. So this is the more enduro focused version of that beginner motorcycle, right? Let's just call it what it is. It's a low displacement, it's a relatively low seat height, especially for an enduro bike. This has a very, very user-friendly seat height. I would say at my 30-inch inseam, I had not a lick of trouble getting my feet on the ground. It's really nice. Suspension is pretty plush, so it does compress well when you sit on it. So if you're looking at it in the dealership and you think it's too tall for you, go throw a leg over it, because I almost guarantee you that it's going to compress down to a place where you feel really comfortable. So as Sam and I discussed back at Batley, this is really a stripped down version of the R1200 GS. I mean, it is very low cost. I believe they come in at right around $6,000. But for exact pricing, please go to GoRollick.com and you'll get the number that you're looking for. But this is a really nice entry-level cost. This would be the perfect motorcycle to have if you wanted to go, let's say, commute in the city, or, you know, if this was your daily bike. You know, it's funny, a friend of mine and I were just discussing the cost of owning a high caliber race machine. You know, both of us have S1000Rs. Very high strung, very powerful bikes. You know, I've just done an oil change, I've just done brake pads, I'll be doing spark plugs soon. It's just the cost to own a more premium, more performance-based motorcycle is generally going to be higher. The beauty of something like this is that everything is a bit lower cost. So for me, this would be the perfect bike to ride to work. I love riding my motorcycle to work. It's one of my favorite things to do. I get to ride on the express lanes, which in Northern Virginia are just like hot lanes, HOV, high occupancy vehicle lanes, and they get me to work significantly quicker than if I had taken a car for free, which is amazing. But maybe I don't like riding my S1000R every day just because, hey, I want to keep the miles low on it, I want to keep the maintenance costs lower on it, which comes from not putting a lot of miles on it, and I need something that gets even better gas mileage. This thing, you know, 70 plus miles per gallon with really low insurance and a pretty low entry cost would be the perfect second bike for commuting. I would love to ride this thing in DC. It would be a fantastic bike in the city, and yet it has more than enough power to get up on the highway and probably cruise. Things you guys might be interested to hear: what is the wind protection like? Well, this little thing right here is actually working pretty well. I'm not feeling any wind on my chest or my shoulders. However, I am getting the wind right at my neck to helmet line. So your helmet and your face are not safe from said wind. You would have to get some sort of a aftermarket windscreen, which I imagine will come out soon enough. This is an incredibly comfortable bike. I mean, for a single, I'm shocked that I'm not feeling more vibration. In the handlebars, it's non-existent. In the foot pegs, you do feel it just a little bit. It isn't not like driving a tractor. A really fast tractor. It's like those stickers on RVs, slow truck, fast house. This is like slow bike, fast tractor. You know, one thing I'll say is it's very smooth. For a single, it is a really smooth bike. Yeah, it's hard to harp it, because I just had a conversation with Sam about like, oh, everyone gets so upset if a bike doesn't have this, that, or the other, but of course adding this, that, and the other increases the cost of the motorcycle. So it's like, do you like the entry-level cost, or do you want it to be more of like a mid-level bike because it's going to be closer to $10,000? You can't have your cake and eat it too in this situation. So for instance, the seat is very firm and it's pretty uncomfortable. Like I'm rather uncomfortable right now in terms of that, and I haven't even been on this bike very long. Maybe it's because I've been riding motorcycles all day, but this is by far the least comfortable seat I've been on. That is another couple $100 if they wanted to improve this at the factory. So then you're talking about bumping into an entirely different $1,000 bracket than this already sits in, which just isn't acceptable. Or like the sound, or you know, maybe auxiliary lights, things of that nature. Like anything that you'd want to add on to it, you have to consider is going to increase the cost of the bike. So it's just not, you know, like I said, can't have your cake and eat it too. Ha! But it's so hard to compare this to anything because of what it is, right? It's supposed to be an entry-level adventure bike. There really aren't any others in the class that I personally can think of off the top of my head that are really similar to this. There are, you know, entry-level enduro or dual sport motorcycles, but that's not what this is. This is more road focused, it's more comfort focused, it's more, you know, feature focused, but it just doesn't hit the nail on the head. I think, which is, you know, it's so interesting. If I had to pick between the G310R and the G310 GS, I'd get the G310 GS. I would get this bike because at the very least, you are getting something that has more than one function, whereas the G310R, you know, albeit maybe a more beautifully styled bike, or depending on your preferences, at the very least, this bike can go off-road. So you are getting that. So it's just something to think about. So anyway, I've been giving bikes a score from 1 to 10. Dun 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 dun. 6.8. Oh, that feels low. Is that low? That feels low. 7.2? No, we're sticking with the original. 6.8. You know why? Just because it's not. I don't know. Because I'm putting it on the scale with things like the, you know, Ducati Panigale V4S. So I have to keep it in terms of that scale, and it's just, you know, it has, I'm gonna, for the entry level, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of features because of the fuel gauge and the gear indicator. Power, 6 out of 10. It's just not there. It's not, it's so hard to rate this bike. You know what, scratch the rating system on this one. I'm not gonna rate it from 1 to 10. I don't think that's a fair thing to do. I think it's a very nice entry-level BMW motorcycle. I think it's missed the mark just a tad, and that's my opinion as a reviewer. I always ask you guys to go out, if you're in the market for this motorcycle, find a dealership, ride it yourself, and see if you like it, because it might be the perfect bike for you, and it's just not the right one for me, or, you know, in my current mindset. However, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, hit that like button if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!